What's happening, y'all? It's Tony Waylay, and I'm here to introduce you to a new web series called What's Up with the Stew. And in this new series, I travel around to different studios, whether it be a home or business setup, and hang out with the producers and engineers, and even get a little brief background on how long they've been doing music for, how long have they had their studio for, and what kind of gear is in their studio. But this is our first episode, so then I started to think, what better way to get things started, or what better studio to get things started in than my studio. So I've been doing music now for about, give or take 12 years. I started when I was a junior in high school, and actually my cousin DJ Hendu had actually given me my first beat program, Reason, and with the money that I had saved up from working on the Navy base, I had purchased my first MIDI controller, keyboard, and condenser microphone. So basically, when making music in my room became a little too hectic for my parents, me and my pops actually built this studio the summer I was going into my senior year of high school. And it's pretty funny too, because that job I had on the Navy base, I used to work in the receiving department area, and a woman that I had worked with was nice enough to actually save the Yankee Candle cartons every night for me, which eventually led to me being able to insulate my vocal booth for many years, so I'm very grateful. So here is the studio, and as you can see, it is relatively small. Typically you can only fit about 1 to 2 people in here, which is completely fine with me because I typically like to work on a one-on-one basis with the artist. And as you can see, I have my acoustic paneling up, I have several bass traps up, and sound panels for treating the sound. And these panels are actually hung based off of the first point of reflection as the sound bounces off the wall. So basically everything is either running through USB or my MBox 3 here. This is the BCF 2000 control surface mixer by Behringer. I run this with Pro Tools. Gives you more of a lifelike touch of the faders to your mixes. I am currently running Pro Tools 10 for my mixing and for also tracking out songs. This is the MPK-25. You see here it has the MPC-like pads. I actually had to replace these to get the thicker cork in the pads. And this is a pretty decent keyboard. You can customize and map to any DAW that you have. See here with these knobs. I currently use Reason 3 to make my beats, and I always have people ask me, why do I use a older version of Reason? And my response is typically, if there's people out there who are using vintage gear, then I don't see any problem with using Reason 3. It's all on how you use the program. And I use this program in a different way. I don't use any of the stock instruments that are in the program. I usually make my own samples. I find my own drum sound packs. And I also track everything out in Pro Tools after, so it gives it more of a natural sound than what the actual program is capable of doing. I also use Logic Pro X as an alternative beat program. Sometimes I actually use the compositions that I make in Logic and combine them with what I do in Reason, and then I will bring everything into Pro Tools for a final mix and leveling. As far as sampling goes, I tend to rip a lot of stuff off of CDs. But I also have here my Audio Technica turntable, which I use for converting vinyls to MP3 and then turning those into samples. I also have these cassette decks down here, which I'm going to start to use for sampling cassette tape. We have my vocal booth. Here we have my Audio Technica microphone AT4040 condenser mic. I also have here the Vox Guard and the pop filter. And I also just want to make a quick note that this room is not entirely soundproof. This room is treated. So if you are having issues soundproofing your room or your booth, you can acoustically treat the room to get that sound that you are looking for. Typically this microphone is covered by its dust hood at all times, just to keep out any dust when it's not being used. And that's all I have for you guys today. Once again, I just want to thank everyone for watching our first episode today, and remember to drop a like on my Facebook page, Waylay Creations, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Waylay Creations, and until next time, I'm out.